Beauty is difficult to answer because beauty it's a question very personal. I can find something really beautiful and another will not find it. But you talked about aesthetism. That's very important for me, very important. And when I do something, when I create something, for me it's important to be elegant. It's important, so I don't know if it's beauty, but I try to give something elegant. Of course, I wanted beauty, but that's not the main things. I wanted aesthetic. So, but aesthetic is maybe a question of how you use the materials, how you use the color, how you create the shape, how you use the white and the black, how all that. Beauty is important because I think when you live with beauty, that makes you different. So that's important. When I create this book, I say art is my life. I think I will not be able to live without art. I can live without furniture, but I can't live without art. And I have this amazing experience in Kenya because I moved everywhere in the country with the United Nations, and they have done a program with music. Music is art. And the children, even if they were very poor and live in a bush, suddenly because of music something happened and give to them something so special. So yes, beauty can change your life. Art can change your life, really. I really think that. I will say two things. I will say primitive art, because I grew up in Africa and my father had a very big collection, so I used to live with that. And the second thing, my parents, when I used to live in Africa, we came back to France every year and we go to opera. So for me, I will say that my first really strong emotion with art was music and was opera, really.
Oh, that's great.
In my childhood, I will not say anything because I was really a child and I don't think I was really aware about that. But when I go back to Africa, when I was a young lady in Kenya, and because I used to work for the United Nations, I was lucky to travel in all the country. And the landscape was so strong, the light was so special, and also I will say, for example, salt lake, all that was very strong to me. And now I can say that in my painting, you can have some of that. Painting.
Painting.
Painting always. I start sculpture quite late, but in fact it was very easy because after the Beaux-Arts, I continued to study for 20 years once a week. And then when I start the culture, it was like something very natural. I didn't have to make course. I just find a studio and I start. And I just love it. And now I can't live without any of them. I need the both always. So I don't do poetry, but I like to collaborate, as I told you, with a stone cutter. That for me is something different. So I create for design, I create console. So I create really unique console. The stone are, the feet are in stone and it's really unique pieces with the base in marble. I create two of that, very special, with the drawings and all that. The piece you have behind you, it's one I create, so it's something different. And I collaborate with a rug company 2 years ago, and I did now some rug. I really follow all the job, and I like to do that. It's something new also. Otherwise, I think I will soon do something with glass. So that will be a new experience also. So that's not for now, but very soon. I'm very lucky because I can express my idea for what I know to do, but also with people who know things, and then we can collaborate and do, and I feel free. So that's wonderful for me. I use many materials, like natural ink, the white matters, which is made exclusively for me, but also lava powder, lacquer, special natural lacquer also. And I need all these materials to express myself, and I need this relief. So to do sculpture and to do painting is not exactly the same mood, it's not exactly the same thing, but I express something strong, quite the same emotion. I give you an example. I went to Sydney, I think it was 5 years ago, and I visit with the designer a place before the customer. So that was very funny. And we decide together what piece of art will come to the house. And then when I go back, I create 2 paintings and 1 sculpture. And then the customer came to the gallery to discover the piece I have done for them. So this is an example. But recently I create 2 paintings and 1 sculpture, especially for a yacht, for another designer. And I love that because I really collaborate with the designer. It's really something we do together. So she come to me, I give proposition, and she said it's okay or not, and I really create unique pieces for the designer and for the place. So I used to, and I use also to do that for collectors, not by designer, but really from collectors. I went, for example, in New York 2 years ago. I visit the flat in New York, and I create the painting after. So I moved for that. And I did that very recently also. I went to Dubai for a very big project. So I can see the place and I create the painting for that. So I love that. It's a challenge. And because I told you I come from the advertising, I used to also to work with team. So to work with designer and to make project is something very natural for me to do that. A big question. I think I'm a citizen of the world, really, because I grew up in Africa. I spent all my childhood in Africa, and then I go back to France. I study in France, and very quickly I decide to pass my baccalaureate in London. So I spent 1.5 years in London, have my baccalaureate, and then I came back to France. And then I studied at the École Nationale and at the Beaux-Arts de Paris. At the same time, I moved to Brazil, and I used to stay more than 6 months in Manaus. And also I spent 1.5 months in Recife with a painter to have like a residency place. And then from there, I have all my, baccalaureate, study, all things I need. And then I decide to move to Kenya. And then I work for the United Nations in Kenya. I go back to France. And at that time, when I came back to France, I work for an advertising company. And after 20 years, I move and I decide to be a painter. To be a painter allow me to move everywhere in the world. I move a lot, very many times to US, but also in Italy, in Poland, in Latvia, so many countries. And I used to travel every year. So this year, for example, I went to Colombia. I went in so many countries. So I really feel that I'm a citizen of the world.